Alright, YouTube, this is a weekly recap. This is week number 4 that I'm out, March 26th through April the 1st. I had 4 runs this week. It started off a really good week. The week overall, I guess, if you compare it to maybe the other weeks that I've been driving, this was a pretty productive week. I had 4 runs. First one was from Savannah, Illinois to Kokomo, Indiana. That was 60 miles deadhead, 303 miles loaded. It cost me about $80 in fuel. Well, that's the fuel advance that I took. It usually cost me a little less. I think it was right around about $65. So that saved me a little bit of money there. Then load 2 went from Ligonier, Indiana, over to Harrisburg, Kentucky. That was 50 miles deadhead, 337 loaded. I took out $84 for fuel. Spent about $70. Third run, as I said in the previous video, it was a GE to GE run. It went from Cincinnati to Terre, Haute, Indiana. That was only a 20-mile deadhead because I was right nearby in Lebanon, Ohio. 184 loaded miles. I did not get any fuel for that. I just paid for it myself. Or I paid for it with the money that I had saved on my Com data card, which I would get into that a little bit later. And then the last run was another GE to GE run. This time it picked up in Terre Haute, Indiana, at the same place that I dropped off previously. And that went over to Durham, North Carolina. I am right now about a half hour northeast of there in Haute River, North Carolina. I will probably move after this video. I sat number 1 pretty much most of the day. And I'm trying to go home for the weekend that's coming up. So I'm going to try to go 100 miles to the north, see where I can get to, see where I'm at in certain areas to start heading that way. Then hopefully I can get a run from out of there, taking me closer to my house. The last time I went home, I got lucky to get a run from, where was I at? I was North Carolina, South Carolina, one of them 2 cities, or states rather. And I ended up getting a run up to Boston, which it put me like about 400 miles from my house. The fleet owner was like, yeah, go ahead, deadheaded home. Now, I wish I would have just waited just a little bit longer that day, because there was a load that was being offered that would have took me right around the corner from my house. But I was already like 2-3 hours gone, and I was tired. I didn't have no sleep, so I declined it. I didn't want to, but I was just way too sleepy. So anyway, that was the low for the week. That last low, I took out $145 for fuel, and I probably needed like $130. I ran about, I ran about 1,500 miles, close to 16. I didn't have to deadhead too much, which was a good thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to start doing something differently. And I wanted to get enough money saved up first. So let me know if, those of you that drive for a fleet owner, if you take out fuel advances, how often do you take them out? Because I know with where I'm at, you can take them out and they charge you an extra $5 for every one you take out. I usually take them out 99.9% of the time. However, that Cincinnati to Terre Haute, Indiana load, I didn't take it out, which pretty much gave me $102. If I would have taken it out, it would have only gave me like 60 or something with the fuel. So I'm thinking I'm going to try something differently where I don't ask for fuel unless it's a really long run. I'm trying to save up enough money to where, I don't have to request fuel. I can always just, pay it out of my own money, and then therefore I get a larger check. In reality, it'll save you extra $20-25 a week in fees. So I'm considering doing that. What I usually do when I do request fuel, I try to be conservative on the gas. So, meaning I do the speed limit. Sometimes I might do a little under. And I could take out, like this run, this last one, I took out $145 in fuel, and I only need to use like 115 of it. Just because I'll average about almost 20 miles to the gallon, just by doing simple things, using the cruise control a bit, when I'm going up a hill, I turn it off, and then I just pretty much coast up the hill, throw on my flashers, let people know I'm going a little slower than normal, and I still get good gas mileage that way. When I go down the hill, I take my foot off the gas, I'll let it coast. On occasion, I do stab braking, which if you don't know what that is basically applying the brakes for a few seconds, letting go of it, go a little bit, stab brake again. It's to prevent your brakes from running hot and burning out and catching fire. For those of you that have your CDL out there, you will know what I'm talking about. So I do that. And again, I don't, like, when I'm at a light and I get ready to go, I don't mash on the pedal. I just slowly coast up to the speed I'm supposed to. And all in all, I probably get around 18, 20 miles a gallon, which it gives me more money on my Data fuel card, and it allows me to spend less money in fuel. Now, there's certain things you can't avoid, if you have a 3,000 mile load or pound load and you're going through the mountains. This last run took me through the mountains, and I was loaded with almost 3,000 pounds, and I was lucky to get 15 miles to the gallon. So it happens. You will get out there, and your gas mileage will suck, when it's very windy. I had to run to Laredo. Well, that run, I ended up getting like 20, 21 miles to the gallon, but coming back, it sucked, because I was fighting a lot of wind, and I was pushing the gear, the other 3,000 pound load, trying to push it through the wind, and it just wasn't really working. So, yeah, that's the way I, go on about saving some gas, adds a little bit more money to my fuel card. And then what I usually do is at the end of every week, I take whatever money's on there, and I take it off. That's pretty much add extra money to my paycheck, and I deposit it into my account. Sometimes I keep it on there, just to build it up. And then when I get these small loads and I don't have enough money for fuel on there, I just go ahead and tell them I don't need it, and I just go ahead and get fuel that way. But yeah, that was week 4 that I'm out. It was pretty productive. I thought I was gonna get a run today, because I came in to Haute River, North Carolina, number 2, and I got to number 1 today. But maybe it's just because of I'm trying to head home for the weekend. I told dispatch to send me towards that way, so we should see how that goes. Like I said, again, I'll probably look and see what's around, going towards my house, go 100 miles that way, sit there for the day, hopefully get something taking me closer to my house, because it's going to get to the point where I'm going to get too close, and it probably won't be nothing. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do that. I'll probably do that after I watch wrestling, because wrestling comes on here in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and watch that, then probably head out afterwards, head up to somewhere that's hopefully better than here. Yeah, let me know how you guys go on about saving for fuel. If you take out fuel advances, let me know. How often do you do it? Do you do it for longer runs and not on shorter runs? Do you do it like I have been doing? Do it for all of them, or do you not do it at all? If you haven't already, folks, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, take care.